In my previous session, while designing a curved beams, I mentioned a point, or stressed on the point that the two things need to be considered always while designing the curved beams. One is what geometrical constraint does that beam is made up of, or second one is where the load is applied. So in this example, you can see that one thing for a first question, like which geometrical constraints does this curved beam made up of, it is circle. Second one, the point of load. In a previous example, we saw that, or there in the previous example, the load is on the axis of an whole element. But here you can see this, the load is away from the elemental axis, right? Now again, how to do the conventional sketch or a preliminary sketch before going for a design, if the case is so. As usual, I'm going to draw out a circle extracted from there. I'm going to draw a circle. So geometrical constraint round, which is of a diameter capital D. So this is of capital D. And again, as usual, center of this whole circle, I take it as an axis, which is a centroidal axis. I call it as C. And the main elemental axis, and again a neutral axis, which is away from central axis towards an elemental axis. I call this as N. And the offset of these two axes are said as E. And further, as you know that the D, the radius, I call it as a C, and the distance from the elementary axis to the central axis, capital R. The distance from an elementary axis to the neutral axis, I call it as R N. A distance from a neutral axis to the inner race of a circle, I call it as Ri. And similarly, a distance between the neutral axis to the outer race of a beam or a circle, I call it as Ro. Now, the distance of the inner race to the neutral axis, inner race to the neutral axis, Ci, inner race, outer race to the neutral axis, I call it as Co. Very important, where the force? The force is somewhere away from the elemental axis. So they were somewhere over here. So this is a common conventional sketch to be done while designing a curved beam, and the force come in existence while considering the torque.